Welcome back, folks. My name is Joseph Igo, and today we are starting a new series here on the Motor Index YouTube channel. It's called the State of series. So, kind of like the president has the State of the Union speech, these are going to be kind of, state of insert NASCAR topic. So today we are doing the state of Christopher Bell. Later today we'll also have the state of COTA, Circuit of the Americas, coming out later. So, the goal of these videos would be just to kind of, describe where the specific topic that we were talking about is in the grand scheme of the sport of NASCAR and whatnot. So I guess let's get on into it. So the state of Christopher Bell, our most recent winner and a back-to-back race winner. And I want to just get this on the record that have you guys ever watched Colin Cowherd on Fox Sports 1 where he has a segment where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong? Well, I just got to point out where Joe was right was that this would be Christopher Bell's breakout year, and my God, I did not think it was going to be 3 races into the season that I would be able to pretty much declare that, because I mean he's won on 2 tracks where I did not expect him to win, and I mean, and even frankly, he was if Cole Custer at Daytona doesn't give an insane block or an insane shove to him in that situation, he could have won 3 straight races at this point. I'm just saying. And as far as, how the next couple tracks line up for him, I mean, I think we are right now staring at the probably the best opportunity since Kyle Larson in 2021, that is, for a driver to win 3 consecutive races. And I would even go as far to say we might be looking at a potential 4 straight race winner here. And I'm not so I will get into my Phoenix and Vegas predictions in those videos later down the line, but I'm not going to be picking him for Phoenix. However, it would not shock me in the slightest if he won this race. He obviously won Phoenix back in the spring of last year. Pretty dominant performance too, by the way. And then you could even make the argument in the championship race in November at Phoenix that there were times in that race where he had the strongest car. Had Christopher Bell not gotten disqualified from that bizarre Martinsville incident, he would have been in the championship 4, and I think he would have won it. I honestly do think he would have won it. I just think he would have raced differently. I think he had the best car probably on the day. I don't care what anybody says, and yeah, I mean, I came into the season saying Christopher Bell was my championship favorite, and I picked him to win the championship, and I said he would win at least 5 races and probably more. And with the way this season's tracking out, that is certainly well ahead of schedule. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. I am pretty dumbfounded at the start of the season for Christopher Bell, and just where this puts him in the NASCAR power rankings. Is that what we want to say it in the? I guess. I mean, if I was to make my power rankings right now, Christopher Bell is number 1, and I said I will be waiting until after Phoenix to make my power rankings for this season, because I just feel like with the 2 super speedways and then a road course, you don't really get a great sense of where everybody's at. But I think it's pretty clear that Christopher Bell is if he ain't the top, he's top 2 or 3. But I'm, at least as of right now, he is definitively my top driver in NASCAR currently. And then so as for what does this do for the rest of his season? We said coming into last week, he's kind of playing with house money at this point until the playoffs. So now it's 26 race regular season, 3 races in, so he's got 23 more races to go before the playoffs. And I mean, like I said earlier, I think the next 3 races are very good. And then shortly after that, you're going to have Martinsville. That's another track he's been good at. I could see us sitting here a month from now and Christopher Bell having those 5 wins that I predicted him to have. He could have that by a month from now. Not kidding. I don't think that'll happen. Just, the statistical probability of that happening is pretty low. I actually did some research. There have been 28 instances of a three consecutive race winner in the Cup Series. 11 of those times that driver has gone on to win the championship. And then I went even deeper, and I think it was 8 times a driver has won 4 consecutive races, and in 5 of those instances, he went on to win the championship. So the stats are lining up really well for Christopher Bell at the moment. The last time a driver won 3 races was Kyle Larson back in 21, like I said earlier. And we all know what happened after that third race with at Pocono when his tire blew going into the final turn in the lead, about to win his 4th consecutive race, gets it stolen from. I would have to just chalk that up to the racing gods. How frequently is your tire going to blow in the final turn of the race while leading? It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. So, yeah, huge opportunity here for Christopher Bell. And I think another thing you'll see is some of these tracks where they don't think he's got as good of a shot as some of the other tracks. I think they're going to take, the stage points approach. Like potentially maybe at some of these road courses, like maybe a Sonoma, maybe a Mexico City, a Chicago. Is the 20 team going to be the one who stays out while everybody flips the stage to get that playoff point to guarantee them, a decent sizable gap once they get into the playoffs? Who knows? So, and I think another thing, obviously a big topic in our sport this week, is the Austin Cindric dilemma and whether he'll be suspended or not. By the time you are watching this video, you will probably know if Austin Cindric will be suspended for the Phoenix race or not. I will give my opinion on that when that drops, but I think that's a big thing you got to look out for if you're Christopher Bell. Don't do that. What Austin Cindric did, don't right hook somebody and get suspended or get your playoff points revoked because of the situation you're in right now. So if I was Christopher Bell's team, that's exactly what I'd be saying to Chris. And yeah, and I guess as for where this leaves him, I definitely think this is the breakout year, and I think this is on paper going to be his best shot to win the championship. As long as they continue on this path, they keep, this is a long season. That's a big thing you got to realize. Even if the playoffs, this is a long season. You could enter the playoffs being this good and then cool off while you're in the playoffs and then lose out on the championship. So he's got to maintain this pace week after week, month after month, and make sure it doesn't die down. But I definitely think that he's got what it takes to, win. I'd even go as crazy to say maybe 10 races. And I know that may sound like, overreaction at the moment, but I just take a look at some of these races he won. I mean, obviously Atlanta and Coda. He's won at Phoenix before. He won Bristol Dirt, so we'll get rid of that. But he's got wins at Charlotte, both the Oval and the Roval. He's got a Daytona road course win, not on the schedule this year. Homestead coming up. New Hampshire, Martinsville, all he's won at. And then if you look at last year at Vegas in the fall, he should have probably won that race. And you even go back another fall race or another Phoenix fall race, he probably should have won that too when I was at that race when he finished that race on the bumper of Kyle Larson coming across the line. Had that race been another lap longer, he probably won that race. So, I mean, yeah, we're talking about a guy who is probably the best current driver at Phoenix if we're talking the last 3 or 4 times out there. And then the same story at Vegas the following week. And then you go to then they'll go to Homestead, and that's a track he's won at and been very competitive at. So this is lining up crazy good for Christopher Bell. So it'll be interesting to see how the 20 team, responds in the coming weeks and months, because I think they got a lot of ways they can attack this and, set themselves up well going into the playoffs. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take care, everybody. God bless.